Bossier Parish was hit hard by yesterday's storms as well. KTBS 3's Rick Rowe kicks off our team coverage this morning with a look at some of the damage being reported there, specifically in Bossier Parish. Rick, good morning. What are you seeing out there?
Good morning. I'm seeing a lot of tree damage, not huge amounts. I've seen worse in other storms. We're actually at the intersection of Crouch Road, East Linton Road, and this is the most extensive damage that we have been able to see. This is actually a really nice brick home that had one of probably 20 or 30 pine trees here, or a couple of them perhaps, that fell on a portion of the home. Not massive damage. In fact, this homeowner, who I don't believe is there, really dodged a bullet, or at least it dodged a number of other trees that might have fallen on it. You can see right up here, I don't know if Jeff can show that, maybe pan up a little bit. You can see the splintering there. So, and there's another tree that has splintered at the top. This is either one of two things, just straight line winds, which it certainly could have been, or one of those tornadoes. I know we had a record number reported yesterday that may have just blown through and stayed up just enough, not touched down, so that all it did was splinter the treetops. I have no idea, but that is certainly something that might have happened here. I do know this. I remember several years ago reporting a similar situation in Ruston. Trees like this, and almost much worse. The trees down on homes, and it was extensive damage here. But here, as I said, this is North Bossier Parish, East Linton Road. This is the most extensive damage that we have seen. There's another house right over there that has a similar situation with part of a tree on part of a house. But I would say this, it could have been so much worse. This area is heavily treed. Had that tornado or those straight line winds been lower to the ground, done more damage, had more of these trees fall over, then there could have been really extensive damage. Unfortunately, as we have been reporting all morning long, the 31-year-old woman in Benton did have a tree that fell on her home. I will mention this, there have been extensive subdivisions developed in North Bossier Parish off of Benton Road and Airline Drive. That is not where the young woman was killed, the 31-year-old woman. It was actually a rural road, much like this one off of Crouch Road. So she probably had a similar situation, lots of trees surrounding her home, and sadly, one of these giant trees, probably a pine, fell onto her home, and just a sad story. But the good news here, always trying to look for something positive to report. It could have been so much worse. And in some ways, we dodged what might have been a terrible story. Now, obviously, when anybody dies, that's a really sad thing to happen, but goodness gracious, considering how many tornadoes there were, Brian, it's really amazing there wasn't more extensive damage in more places. Coming back to you, my friend.